STEM School Highlands Ranch did not have a school resource officer on campus Tuesday. They did have one last year, but the Douglas County Sheriff says they misused him to just direct traffic. They complained about the cost and did not respond to the sheriff's offer of a new deputy. Our 9 Wants to Know team has been looking into safety concerns at that school. At least one student actually spoke up a year ago and then eventually left the school after complaining that she was feeling unsafe. She talked with 9 News investigative reporter Jeremy Hohola.
When 2 shooters entered STEM school on Tuesday, students took action, tackling one of them. Kendrick Castillo lost his life but saved others. What could have happened if a school resource officer was there? A question that will never be answered amid a revelation the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and STEM School were disputing how an SRO should be used. The school had one last year, but the sheriff said in a statement the SRO was primarily on outside security and traffic control, against the terms of the contract. In June, the sheriff yanked the contract, saying he offered to replace the deputy with another full-time SRO, but that he did not hear back from the STEM school except to hire off-duty deputies as traffic control. In response, the school said through a PR firm, "We supplemented that with full-time private security services, and that schools with and without SROs have experienced violence." We reported this week investigators are looking into the possibility the security officer fired at deputies and may have accidentally shot a student during the shooting.
We had one security officer that I only saw in the mornings. Even then, it was really rare that I saw them at all.
Former STEM student Audrey Glenn tells us she complained to the STEM board last May and told them she was leaving the school over a lack of security. She's now going to a different school.
I just want my friends to be safe. That's my main concern. I know mental health is a huge issue that was never addressed at that school either. I think it's extremely important that these students get their voices heard, because these are my friends. These are people who should not have ever had to go through this kind of situation, and it's really heartbreaking.
Meanwhile, STEM parents have reached out to us this week, saying they fully support the school amid scrutiny.
Our kids have felt more at home in their own skin than anywhere else.
Fathers like Mike Brevort, he has 5 kids at STEM and says school leaders have done everything they can to make it a safe and great school.
I mean, we've never had any inkling of any bullying. In fact, we've always said the opposite. I today choose, even going forward, like our kids are going to go to STEM. I wouldn't put them anywhere else.
Passionate perspectives among everyone who just want the same thing.
I'm heartbroken that this happened even after I went to the board and discussed this with them. And it's going to be a time of rejuvenating, fixing everything, making connections.
That was Jeremy Hohola reporting. Deputies from a nearby substation got to the school within 2 minutes of the shooting call. STEM says that it believes that the private security guard they hired improved school security.